I think we need to start by hugging it out. Should we hug it out? No? Joe? Shield me. Be a human shield today, please.
I'll take one for you.
Take one for the team.
Not sure I like where this is headed.
These are, I'm going easy.
You know, the steers and queers thing isn't, it's not kind of, not there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, but real men can hug it out once in a while, you know?
Absolutely.
So, welcome to Big Words I Know by Heart, a program of rants, raves, faves, pet peeves, personal vendettas, celebrity interviews, and anything else we can fill the half hour with. My guests today have opened for over 50 national country acts, including Dierks Bentley, Luke Bryan, Gloriana, and Phil Vassar. They're also the winners of over a dozen awards, including Best Country Act from Art Voice, a staggering 4 times, as well as Best Country Group, Vocalist, Drummer, Bassist, and Keyboardist. That's like a full sweep at the Nightlife Music Awards from 2010 to present. My guests today are premier country band West of the Mark, comprised of Mr. Jay Urbaniak, Bruce Rounds, Lyle Stang, Dave Lepowski, and Pat O'Connell. Round of applause, Jim. This is where we get it back. Joining me in the co-host hot seat is daily commentator and fellow curmudgeon Joseph Genco. Genco. I fucked that up already. Welcome, y'all. Gentlemen, how are you?
Outstanding.
We're doing fine. Doing great.
Rolling with the punches?
All you can do at this point, right?
Yes. Should we dive right into our questions?
Let's do it.
Okay. You started as a duo at the turn of the century. How did you arrive at the name, and did band members start splitting like Amazon stock in the early 2000s?
You know, it's funny. I had a work injury back in like 1999. I had a couple walls topple me over. So we were playing, we were working out in Albany, in the town of Colony, putting up a Target store. And when I come home, the injury happens. You know how it is when you're out of town. Guys get put up in a hotel, and there's always a bar within walking distance. So you happen to frequent this place quite a bit. You get to know the personnel, and there's always karaoke to fall back on, right?
Right.
I'll never admit that again.
Ouch.
They come in. I had the whole summer off with the injury. I couldn't work. I happened to get a phone call from that fine establishment asking me if I wanted to come and play happy hours. I said, what the hell? I ain't doing nothing else. So I went. They wouldn't fit my good Polish last name on the marquee. So there was an old 70-year-old guy who was a great entertainer, El Bruno. I'll never forget the guy's name. I mean, he's Backstreet Boy, hands up. This guy was all right. This guy was awesome. But they wouldn't put Urbaniak on, so each week I went down there, it was Urban J, it was Jay West, it was God. They never even asked me the name. They just put something new up. And the Jay West actually stuck, which I still hate to this day. But when I came home, Eddie Tabone, who was still with Route 66 back then, now the Nerds Going Wild, real good friend of mine, his lead guitar player was Mark Rosenhan. And we were playing basketball one night, and he goes, what are you doing, man? And I said, what are you talking about? He goes, you want to play? I said, yeah. He goes, I got a guitar player for you, Mark Rosenhan. So we shot the crap a little bit and started kicking around some names, and names like Tumbleweed and some really other gay crap that just didn't have any. I just shouted out one day West of the Mark, and it had a cool little kind of backdrop story, and him being Mark, and even though he hasn't been in a band in 14, 13 years, it stuck. So that's kind of how it went, and that was the short version of the story anyways.
And it was off and running.
Yeah. But no, we've had a good turnout. We haven't had many musicians run. We had 2 guys retire. Lyle Stang actually just retired a little while ago.
Was there a ceremony? Gatorade?
You know what? No.
Yingling?
He missed the whole Yingling boat.
Yeah, that was before the Yingling came on.
Poor bastard. But I tell you what, he's
more
still
money
active.
for you.
As a matter of fact.
More Yingling for us.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this before the show. Your band pedigree is astonishing. What can you tell me about your combined experience? And do the members in the band who give music lessons include Hoedown 202? No?
No, not recently. No.
Well, Pat's the lesson guy.
Well, between Fredonia and swing and jazz and blues and big band, it's just amazing to have that all.
That's all you guys.
Yeah. It helps. It helps in the style of the band, I think.
I mean, you're coming from the blues background, and
I played in rock, played classic rock, I played pop, funk with Carlina Williams
I'm sorry, I just don't see that.
You don't. You
I
can't
did not
picture
know
it.
he did that. Someone's got to have a video somewhere. I got to see this.
I hope not.
Joe, you have a short list of questions. I see over
I
there.
do have a short list of
You're hanging-
questions.
What do you got?
Right. Well, I'll go right away with Yingling because who doesn't want beer? How did you score Yingling as a sponsor, and do you get free beer?
Yes,
Shit, you're stepping on my questions,
We
Joe.
plead the Fifth Amendment.
it is part of the package. Yes. Although it's a hard to sell to the clubs when you tell them, they just look at you and make you pay anyway, unless the rep is there. But we do get free beer for our personal events, birthday parties, and Pat has several parties a year. And yes, the way we scored the sponsor, we played T.O. Cannon's corporate party in Tin Rooster, which is in what the hell is that casino? Turning Stone Casino.
Turning Stone, yep.
And they had their vendors there, and Yingling was one of the vendors. And I don't know if you've been to a lot of corporate parties, but they're not exactly the most engaging events. It's like we're background music.
Yeah.
Everybody's too afraid to get a little popped up, and
You're not getting the love.
no.
Not feeling the love.
Everybody's stiff and tight ass, basically.
Very much so. And we did get a few women to come out after about 2 hours of playing, 2.5 hours of playing. They finally started to loosen up a little bit. And one of the women that were out there was a big fan of the genre of music. And when we were done, I just happened to talk to her and thank her for coming out and dancing and making our life a little bit easier by somebody enjoying what we're doing instead of standing there like statues. And it turns out she used to work for Corona as a rep, and she repped Kenny Chesney, who was sponsored by Corona back then. And then her boss, Drew, comes over, who was from Manhattan, and they're from Yingling, and I flat out asked him, now I might have had a few pops in me as well at this point, and simply asked him, I said, why the hell don't you guys ever sponsor local talent? And he looked at me and goes, I don't know. That's kind of how it went, and Bruce and I were driving home, and sure enough, within a couple days, I got an email from Drew, and turns out the local rep, who was Mike Biardini, was already a fan of the band anyway. So it was an easy transition. We gave him a proposal, and not every condition was met, naturally, but the whole idea behind us approaching them was for our scholarship event to have one major sponsor.
At Sweet Home.
At Sweet Home, yeah.
And when you talk about women getting loose at parties, what do you mean by that?
Actually dancing around and not just staring.
Okay.
And
My mind went somewhere there.
I see that.
Apologize. And with Yingling, is it large burlap sacks with dollar signs on them?
No.
Unmarked bills? No die packs?
No,
Nothing like that?
we got all the T-shirts you could ever want, though.
T-shirts and koozies.
Koozies,
Footballs.
footballs, bottle openers, backpacks.
And here's the question I warned you about. Is the world finally ready for a hee-haw reboot with the unfrozen head of Roy Clark wearing a backwards baseball cap, gender-fluid donkeys, spoken word rap solos, and genetically modified bales of hay?
Absolutely.
Quick
Salad.
answer.
When you put it that way, definitely.
Well, who's going to be Minnie Pearl, though?
That's tough. That's really tough.
It's not hee-haw if you don't have her doing the...
Caitlyn Jenner? No?
Who?
That's too late. That joke's too late.
God, no.
I fell flat on my face with that one. No? You classify yourselves as pre-millennial country in the satellite radio sense. Is post-millennial country defined by more whining and a lack of personal responsibility?
Did you write these questions?
I did. No?
Awesome.
Is it
I don't know how to answer it.
Is it defined as... Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I like that, actually.
And do you feel as if you reach a broader demographic in Buffalo than your rock counterparts?
Yes. I mean, you guys could preach to that better.
I think so, definitely,
so.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean,
You've got a broader canvas, too. It seems like you have a wider travel radius than most.
I don't know. I mean, I can't speak to any other bands. It's the only band I've known. But you guys have played in... I mean, you've been in all the bigger bands in town.
Well, yeah, I think it speaks to a wider demographic. It's a little more family-friendly versus your average rock band. It's more, it lends itself more to, like, big outdoor events, carnivals, picnics, firemen's barbecues, things like that. Whereas a straight rock band might lend itself more to just a nightclub or just a, outdoor party or something like that. This speaks to a little bit wider And country music being one of the most popular genres of music around today, look at your market ratings and station ratings, and I think that's why it appeals to such a wider audience of people. Yeah.
106 has been number one in Buffalo forever.
Yes.
Forever.
Definitely.
And yes, with the rock shows, you get misdemeanors and statutory, let's say, like Black Widow, for example. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I can't do this question now because Joe already asked it. Well, we'll try it again. Now that you're officially sponsored by Yingling Lager, do you have access to a T-shirt gun and enough T-shirts to cover every man, woman, and child in West Seneca to replace their 1994 Bud Light with Lime swag shirts?
Bud Light with Lime.
They're still around. Those shirts are still walking around.
He gives us a gift pack every show we have, and then it's probably 8 to 10 shirts.
Yep. Oh, easy.
Koozies, openers.
It's funny you mentioned the T-shirt gun. We've talked about that in years past. Lyle, our retired keyboardist, always wanted to come up and shoot that. But we got some bigger shows coming up with the Canalside and 4th of July that would be tremendous for.
This is your 10th year with Canalside or
Canal Fest.
Canal Fest. This is your 10th or 9th year?
I think it's our 9th year. 8th or 9th straight year.
Yep.
Yeah, at Canal Fest in the Tonawondas.
Is there a rider that you can't use them for wet T-shirt contests?
Not at all.
Not at all.
There it is. Now, here we go again. How do you gents play out so much for so long without wanting to strangle each other? Or is that where the Yingling comes in?
Drinking helps.
The Yingling helps.
Drinking does help.
That's a good question. Again, you guys have been in way more bands than this, but everybody's congenial. We certainly might butt heads once and again, but there's really no infighting. There's no, we make mistakes. We laugh at it and try not to suck next time. It's nobody's yelling at each other. Nobody's getting on each other's cases. We try to motivate, but other than that, it's just
It's counterproductive to do that. Just doesn't help.
We enjoy playing. The scene is good.
It's very positive.
Yeah, there's always shows. We keep the calendar busy, as busy as we want it to be. We could be busier, but I think maybe that helps too. We're not too busy.
Yeah,
we've dropped over the last 3 years probably 30 shows a year.
You're picking and choosing. You're getting the larger venues.
Trying to
in the summer, definitely.
And I think that has a lot to do with it too. We ain't seen each other 3 times a week, and
right.
I'm serious. I'm sure that helps.
It helps.
Gets to be a grind.
Yeah, very much so.
Reminds me of my marriage.
You had to bring that up there.
I'm independent of nothing. Who DDs on the tour bus for the North Java and North Collins extravaganzas?
Dave lives there, for crying out loud.
That's perfect.
Called Langford.
You got a flop house.
He lives right across the street.
That's good.
Langford Jamboree, man. I'm right across the street.
Who shits on the ceiling when the guys are there?
That was Lyle, but he quit.
So that's why he's out. You voted him off.
Sorry, Lyle.
I have found some beer bottles up there though, on the roof.
And am I the only one who thinks Natalie Maines is the hottest Dixie chick because she looks cross-eyed and inbred? I got a thing for her. I'm sorry.
She's a little short and stout.
There's a lazy eye or a wandering eye there, but I'm all for it.
I've never noticed that.
There's something going on there. I don't know what it is. Astigmatism?
Huh. I got to check that out now. Mm-hmm. But no, she's definitely not the hottest one.
You like the fiddle player?
I like Emily. Yeah, the
tall and lanky.
The brunette one.
Mm-hmm. The brunette one.
They're all quite fetching. Joe, do you have a favorite? Do you have a preference? What the fuck is going on with that camera, Joe? We've lost Joe forever.
I'm gone.
Joe's gone. From tractor pulls to juke joints to Canal Fest to beach bars, which crowd is the rowdiest, and does Rawhide calm them down?
That's only in Langford.
You would know, pal.
Do you play both kinds of music, country and
Western?
Western?
Yeah. I had that. I'm sorry. I cut that question.
You know what my favorite thing is? When we walk into a venue, I walk in just like this, using my shirt's tucked into buckles there. Dave's got his hat on. What kind of music do you play? Are you freaking kidding me?
Up in your face while you're setting up?
Yes. We're a rap band. I don't know what to tell you.
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
Jiminy.
I did tell the woman one night we were an acid rock band. I hadn't heard that term in many years.
Did she buy it?
No, not really.
We got the hair going on. You let it loose.
Did it get a little wild on Monday at Mickey Rats?
You know what? Monday was a really good day. The weather couldn't have been better. We seemed to come over really well. People were up and dancing, and that's a good thing. I mean, I don't really judge how the other bands, reaction goes, but a lot of good quality bands that played there. I mean, we had a good time.
It was a great crowd, great bands playing. All the ones I heard were fabulous.
I mean, when the women are out, the women, 20-year-old girls are out in bikinis, and Pat's got his shades on, and Bruce we're all wearing sunglasses because it was bright out.
Yeah, right. We're not going to give away the trade secret.
No, right. And the fellas are out, in their jean shorts and everything else, and it's just a good time. I mean, summer's here. It felt like summer was finally here.
Shit, I fucked this question up. Yeah, here we go. We segue right into that. I'm stepping all over my dick left and right. I'm sorry. You just played out for Mickey Rats for Memorial Day. How many Daisy Duke shorts were in attendance? Did the larger women's shorts look like a denim bag of old cottage cheese? And now that Carl Palladino owns the property, will they be turning it into a segregated beach compound?
Oh, man.
That's a four-parter.
Yeah. No comment, no comment, no comment, no comment.
That's the safe play.
We love everybody.
Do the guys wear Daisy Dukes now? Are we living in that kind of
There
world?
are a few that show up in shorts that you'd care to never see again.
And rompers.
Rompers. They're bloomers. I don't care it's bloomers. It's not rompers, it's bloomers. Can we all agree that it's bloomers?
No.
My daughter had to tell me what that was.
Rompers. It's a bloomer. It's a potato sack.
Either way, it's not good.
There's nothing good going on under that. It's a fright show. Joe's taking comfort in his notes. Joe, we have you back.
Yes. I always.
You want to take the ball and run with that?
I can take the ball and run with it. All my questions are shorter and not quite as nonsensical as yours, but
Okay, I'll take it. That's fair.
So you got
That's
fun
fair.
questions.
That is fair.
well, I just look at it and say, Greg Allman's dead. Willie's still here. Is that because country is better?
That's got to be a resounding yes. Willie.
And how do you feel about that?
Well, Willie's working on preserving himself like while he's still alive. So.
He smoked formaldehyde
Yeah.
exactly. With wives 3 through 7.
Oh, man.
Greg Allman, he may have died years ago, and they just
It
propping him
didn't
up.
catch up.
And Willie always said women, whiskey, and weed were his three biggest problems, and definitely women were the worst of the three.
Sure. He seems to be doing all right still. A little crusty, but he's still floating around.
God bless his heart. We have 2 amazing bonus clips that follow this show with 2 amazing covers. Here's another question about another cover. How many times have you been asked to perform Garth Brooks' I've Got Friends in Low Places? Is it, in fact, the country equivalent of Freebird, and have you performed it so many times that the words have lost all meaning?
Every show?
Every single show.
Just about.
Just about.
I would say
Thousands of times. they've asked.
I would say it's maybe, let's just go with every show. I mean, it's even a non-country fan knows the words to that song. And we like
It's the old-time rock and roll of country.
yeah, I mean, is it the country Freebird? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you turn your brain off when you're performing it, or does it come back around and you like it again every couple of years?
I would say 80% of the songs I don't like anymore that we do.
Okay.
They become robotic after a little while. Not everything. I mean, some songs, when your life takes a turn, I don't know how you guys feel, but, me as the lead vocal, sometimes songs will resonate all of a sudden, like, oh, Jesus.
You're getting choked up halfway through.
It messes you up a little bit.
Alison
But
Krauss.
that's the greatest thing about country music, though, in my opinion.
It touches off these little tectonic centers in your brain. Follow-up question. Would you like to take the over-under on how many more times Garth Brooks will retire in our lifetime?
I'll take the under.
You'll take the under. I'll say
take the
4
under.
more. 4 more. It's,
I don't think he's going to retire again until his time. I mean, the guy's making too much damn money now.
or another box set. Another Target box set. No?
He likes being in the limelight.
Think about
too.
that now. He's selling 5 and 6 shows in 4 days in every city he's going to. Every city.
God.
And he releases his new box set, which is basically all his old songs minus one album, which actually isn't that bad. That was $20. $20. There's
Yeah.
6 freaking CDs in that thing. Actually, I think it's
It's a
10
cavalcade
CDs.
of values,
It's 10 CDs
folks.
packed in 6 packs. It's ridiculous. And I still listen to it. You know, I mean, I went to see him again for the 4th time. The guy's incredible.
Wrapped Up in You gets me.
What?
Wrapped Up in
Oh,
You.
yeah. Great acoustic tune.
And am I the only one who thinks that Reba McEntire looks like a Honduran ginger tree frog but hot? It's a fair
You know,
question.
she is a little bit weird in the face, but
Some-
absolutely. She,
Yeah.
for an older woman, she looks fantastic.
She's got to be 78 by now.
I don't know if she's that old, but doesn't matter.
And is it true that Toby Keith was an F-150 truck salesman who purchased a grammar school rhyming dictionary? Is there
I heard that's true.
It's on the Wikipedia, so it's true.
Must be.
It's on the internet.
It's on the internet. It must be true.
You get a lot of call-outs for that? No?
For Toby Keith?
Yeah.
Not so much. Not so much.
He's sort of phasing out.
In fact, I can't remember the last time we were asked to play a Toby Keith song.
Do we even play one anymore?
No?
Red Solo Cup was big for a little while there.
Very short-lived.
Yeah.
Very
Thank God.
short-lived, and I got to tell you, within a year after its release, nobody wanted to hear it anymore. You'd start playing it, you hear like a big
Groan?
collective groan. You betcha.
Yep.
Then what do you do? It's a 4-minute song. You can't exactly just get out.
You're in it. You're locked in. Crap. It's like the American Pie of.
Oh, there you go.
You ever try that for karaoke? That's just bad news all around
Piss
for
everybody off.
everyone involved. That's when you get shit on the ceiling. Yeah. So, the next big show. Let's lay down some suppressing plugs here. I promised some plugs. Feel free.
We are at the Cove this Friday with Megan Lindsay, who used to be with Steel Magnolia and was just runner-up on The Voice 2 seasons ago, I think it was.
Season 8, I believe it was.
Yep.
Yeah, that's coming up. I don't know what else is big in June. In July, we got Canal Fest of the Tonawana's. July 4th, we're at Canalside, which is going to be a huge show for us. Langford Jamboree with Phil Vassar. Lancaster Independence Days. July
And you
4th
played with
weekend.
Phil before.
We have. We
Yes,
have.
at Jam in the
Jam in the Valley, years ago.
Joe Nichols.
What are we doing with Joe Nichols?
Cat.
Oh, Cattaraugus County Fair.
Cattaraugus County Fair.
Good God, thank you.
You don't know where you are until you're
Listen,
there
man,
that day, huh?
we have.
So we
The thing
remind
is,
him.
He booked it. He booked the gig. so.
I booked the shows, but I tell you, we print out little calendars, and thank God we do, because I got to look at them all every week.
I ask my wife every week.
Where am I going? Where am I going? Are there money fights on the tour bus midsummer?
Never.
Only on gambling. Only
On gambling?
Never.
You can see an accurate list of tour dates, too, at www.westofthemark.com. You like that? You see what happened there?
You are a professional, sir.
I don't know about that. Everybody's going to be MFing me riding home. Joe, do you have more questions?
I think I'm getting a little bit low, but you know,
That's
the whole
two.
country. Maybe I hit 3. All right, I'll go with the hard one about the. Have you guys had a Confederate flag show up at your shows ever, and how did that feel?
Wouldn't bother me any.
There's got to be some.
I got. Oh, absolutely. Especially Jam in the Valley in Langford.
Langford.
That I've heard is
they're-
like Sodom and Gomorrah Jam in the Valley.
Jam in the Valley is.
Is that just a 3-day shit show?
Yes, very much so.
In a good way.
I don't know. We haven't been involved in that in a couple years, about 4 or 5 years now, and I don't miss it at all because of that. It is. The first year we went. All right, give you a quick story. And I don't think you were.
I was in the band.
You guys weren't here yet. We had a camping was part of the package. Now we go and we do our set on the main stage, and we come back and camp, and that's where all the fun starts. There was a couple in the RV next to us, which happened to be the DJ from the Roost in Nashville, or Henrietta rather, the Roost in Henrietta, and it was the DJ, and that RV had to be rocking back and forth for like 3 hours. I'm like, dude, whiskey dick is not a fun thing.
yeah, I
when
don't
you're
understand.
outside. I'm like, good. I got to listen to this. I'm
That's
trying to have a
Gumby
good
dick
time.
at that
I mean,
point.
this
That's not whiskey dick. 3 hours?
This was awful. I'm trying to, you know what I mean? That's what I remember of Jam in the Valley is a lot of that. Like, good Lord. Our guitar player, I remember Joey, he'd come walking around. He didn't even sleep. He walked all night just playing his guitar, singing with whoever would let him sit at the campfire. We ran into a couple the next morning like, you wouldn't shut up all night long. You're singing it. Shut up. That's the kind of shit Jam in the Valley is. It's a good time for those that don't give a crap.
The upside, though, in the valley, nobody can shit on the ceiling, correct?
No, they just shit all over the ground. It's,
Shit on the ground.
It's just a different thing.
And after 3 Hank Williamses, is it appropriate to refer to Hank Williams the first as OG Hank Williams? That's
OG.
OG Hank Williams. That's what the kids are saying.
Original
these days.
gangster.
Original gangster.
I'm impressed. Look at you.
How do you know that?
Look at you. It's the hair. It's got to be the hair.
I'm well versed in all styles of music.
I didn't know until researching the show that he was known as the Hillbilly Shakespeare. I'd never heard that term.
I've never heard that either.
That's interesting. I've never heard that either.
Then Wikipedia lied to me again. Again, I failed. I don't know. You got nothing?
I've never heard
Nobody?
that.
No?
I've never heard that.
Where do you stand on the other 2 Hanks? 3, I won't even acknowledge that he exists in our universe.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Junior, Junior has contributed a lot more songwriting. I think people don't give him credit for as well. I don't know. I don't mind Junior. He's Bocephus, man. He's a rocker. That's for sure. We don't do much of Junior either.
Nope.
1 or 2, maybe.
You should do Family Tradition.
That's a good one.
Yeah, people aren't. I don't know. We got to be in the mood for that, I think.
So after all the requests, what do you listen to wind down? To come off of it?
I'm still country. These guys don't even ask. I don't.
Acid rock?
This guy.
Acid blues jazz?
Prague.
You wouldn't understand if I told you.
This is a guy who goes to overseas just to go to some Prague rock festival.
Spock's beard.
backpacking, you know. Yeah.
Right, Pat? Spock's beard.
Yes, that's one of the faves. Yes.
That's a band.
Trek?
That's a.
Spock's
There's
beard.
an actual band called Spock's Beard out of Los Angeles, California.
It's a great name.
You're a Robert Fripp guy, aren't you?
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
I knew it.
King
I knew
Crimson
it.
all the way.
Okay.
How about Godspeed You Black Emperor?
I haven't got too deep into that yet, but I know about them.
Fripp takes you down a crazy road.
Yes, he does.
So he does.
I don't know, Dave. What do you listen to wind down?
Well, about half the time it's country, and then it's still the old classic rock. Like I grew up on.
Zeppelin and that.
Pink Floyd and Zeppelin. That's the stuff that I grew up on.
The Cove's a great venue too. You'll pack them in there.
You know what? The Cove is an interesting place. It's does great with the rock and roll bands, the pop bands. Country's a little bit harder to fill a room. We've always, as a band, tried real hard to play clubs and not too many of the smaller bars. It puts more pressure on us, but I thought it always gave us more clout. And the Cove is one of those places. It's a great room. It's a very large room.
It's 2 floors. Yeah, 2
I
floors.
think
big,
I don't even know what it holds, but even when you have a couple hundred people in there,
Looks like
it's
nobody.
deceiving
Yeah.
what it is. And I don't know. It's got a good dance floor. It's just a matter of what's going on around town, I guess.
So if my viewers come to one show, you want them to come to the Cove.
Our personal favorite, at least for me, is Canal Fest.
Yep,
Canal
Canal
Fest. The backdrop on the canal with the rides behind us. We've had some tremendous pictures over the years. But 8-9 years we've been there. Only 1 year it's rained, which was
It was quite
a
the rain.
scary rain.
Yep.
Don't knock on some wood here.
Oh, I'll tell you, especially this year. But I would say for us, Canal Fest is our favorite show to do, just because everybody's right in front of you. Everybody in town knows Friday night's our night. We come in there, and it's just a wall of people in front of you. It's just a great backdrop. And
Tear the
And for
place
me,
down.
it's that place and Langford because that's
Yeah,
that's my
you crawl
backyard.
home,
But it's
that's
still
why.
it's still a huge crowd and a great concert and just a fun time.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, we are all out of time. I'm sure you're all
We're
relieved.
just getting started.
I know. It's a half hour. That's all we get.
I thought we were warming up.
I think we're still going to hug it out. And
You keep trying, pal.
I might find out what a loose woman is afterwards. Who knows? Joe,
Why is he looking at you, Joe?
Joe, let me
really
get the
sure.
wig out of my suitcase. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Westofthemark.com. I will see you all in a month.
Good.
Cool.